My girlfriend said, "You should be grateful I even date someone as broke as you." Then she found out I secretly owned the house. I never cared about looking rich. I drove a 12-year-old Honda that rattled every time it started. My phone had a cracked screen I'd never bothered replacing. Most of my clothes came from outlet stores, and I still wore the same faded hoodie I'd had since college. People assumed I was broke. Honestly, it saved me a lot of trouble. My parents had raised me with one rule: never spend money just because you have it. So when my grandfather passed away 5 years ago and left me his house, I didn't tell anyone besides my parents and my lawyer. It wasn't some mansion. It was a beautiful 3-bedroom craftsman home in a quiet neighborhood that had exploded in value over the years. No mortgage, no loans, completely mine. I rented out the basement apartment for passive income, worked as a software engineer because I actually enjoyed my job, and quietly invested most of my salary. By 29, my net worth had crossed $1 million. Yet I still looked like the guy who counted pennies before buying coffee. And that was exactly how I met Emily. At first, she seemed perfect, funny, beautiful, confident. She laughed at my terrible jokes, held my hand in public, and insisted she didn't care about money. "I like humble guys," she'd tell everyone. "I hate flashy rich men." I believed her. For almost a year. Then little comments started slipping out. "You seriously still drive that thing? You know normal adults don't shop at discount stores." My coworker's boyfriend bought her a Louis Vuitton bag. She always laughed afterward. I'm kidding, but the jokes kept getting meaner. One evening she invited me to dinner with her friends. The entire night felt like an interview. "So what do you do?" one asked. "I'm a software engineer." "Oh, that disappointed." "Oh," said everything. Emily quickly added, "He makes okay money. Not good, not great, just okay." Later, her friend showed off a diamond bracelet. Emily stared at it, then looked at me. "I wish someone spoiled me like that." I smiled awkwardly. "I thought you said gifts weren't important." "They're not." She paused. "When you can't afford them." Everyone laughed. Even her. I forced a smile. That should have been my warning. Instead, I convinced myself she was just immature. Then came the weekend, everything changed. Emily's apartment lease was ending. "My roommate is moving out." She sighed dramatically. "I'll probably just move in with you." I blinked. "You've never even seen where I live." "I don't care." She smiled. "As long as it's temporary." I hesitated. The truth was, I wasn't ready. Living together was a huge step. "I think we should wait." Her face changed instantly. "You don't love me enough?" "No. I just think dash." "So you'd rather pay rent than let your girlfriend live with you?" I finally agreed. Mostly because arguing was exhausting. The following Saturday, she arrived with enough luggage to survive an apocalypse. 7 suitcases, boxes, plants, an espresso machine. I watched in horror. "You said temporary." She shrugged. "Define temporary." The first week wasn't terrible. The second, she started treating my house like it belonged to her. My furniture disappeared. She painted one wall without asking. Sold my favorite recliner online because it looked old. Changed the Wi-Fi password. Complained about every room. "This kitchen is outdated. We should knock this wall down." "I've always wanted a walk-in closet." I reminded her gently. "It's my house." She laughed. "For now." I thought she was joking. I wish she had been. Things escalated when her parents visited. Without asking me. I came home from work to find them sitting in my living room drinking my coffee. Emily smiled. Surprise. Her mother looked around the house with disgust. "It's smaller than I expected." Her father nodded. "I guess it's all he can afford." Emily actually laughed. Then said the sentence I'll never forget. "You should be grateful I even date someone as broke as you." Silence. She wasn't joking. She wasn't smiling. She actually believed it. Her parents nodded in agreement. "As pretty as Emily is," her mother added, "she could have found a doctor." Her father looked directly at me. "A man should provide." I looked around my own living room. 3 people insulting me. Inside my own house. The one I owned. I calmly stood up. "I'm going for a walk." Emily rolled her eyes. "There he goes again. Running away because he can't handle the truth." I left. Not because I couldn't handle it. Because I knew if I stayed, I'd say something I'd regret. Instead, I called my lawyer. Monday morning, I changed the locks on the basement entrance so my tenant wouldn't be disturbed. Then I gathered every receipt proving ownership. The deed. Property tax records. Insurance documents. Everything. I waited. The opportunity came sooner than expected. Emily invited several friends over while I was working from home. Apparently, she thought I couldn't hear them. "This place isn't bad," one friend admitted. Emily shrugged. "It'll look better after we renovate." Another friend asked, "Does your boyfriend own it?" Emily laughed so hard she nearly spilled her wine. "Him? No. He's way too broke. I'll probably convince him to put my name on the lease eventually." Lease, not deed. She didn't even know the difference. One friend frowned. "Isn't that risky?" Emily smirked. "Please. He worships me. I could probably get half this place if we got married." That was enough. I walked into the living room. Everyone froze. Emily forced a smile. "Oh, honey." I held up a folder. I actually wanted to show everyone something. She looked confused. I handed the papers to her friend instead of Emily. She read the first page. Then the second. Her eyes widened. "Wait." She looked at Emily. "This says..." I nodded. "I own this house." Silence. Real silence. The kind where nobody even breathes. Emily snatched the papers. She read them twice. Then 3 times. Her face went completely white. You own it." "Completely. No mortgage. No landlord. No bank." She stared at me. "You told me you were renting." "I never said that." "You assumed." Her parents arrived halfway through because Emily had called them in a panic. They walked in just as she screamed. "Why didn't you tell me?" I answered honestly. "Because I wanted someone who loved me." Her father tried to recover. "Son, that's actually very impressive." I looked at him. "Interesting. Last week you said a real man should provide." He cleared his throat. I may have judged too quickly. Emily grabbed my arm. "We can work this out." I gently pulled away. "No." I was angry. "No. I didn't mean it." "You did. I'll change. You already showed me who you are." She started crying. Real tears. The kind that come when someone's future disappears. Not when they hurt someone. When they lose something valuable. Her mother suddenly spoke up. "She deserves another chance." I smiled politely. I deserve someone who never would have needed this folder to respect me. Then I walked to the hallway. Picked up every suitcase she'd brought. Opened the front door. One by one. I placed them outside. She stared in disbelief. "You can't throw me out." I handed her a copy of the deed. "I legally can. I own the house." Her face collapsed. Neighbors had started watching. One elderly woman from across the street slowly clapped. Then another neighbor. Apparently, they'd heard enough screaming over the past month. Emily whispered, "You'll regret this." I smiled. "No. I almost regretted staying." She left. Her parents followed. Not before giving me one last dirty look. The next morning, I changed every password. Canceled the shared streaming accounts. Reinstalled my old recliner after buying the same model online. Repainted the wall she'd ruined. Peace returned almost immediately. A few weeks later, I learned through mutual friends that Emily had been telling everyone she'd dumped me. That story lasted. Until one of those same friends accidentally mentioned they'd seen her getting kicked out with 7 suitcases. The truth spread fast. Even faster when another friend admitted she'd overheard Emily bragging that she planned to secure the house after marriage. Turns out people don't like feeling manipulated. One by one, her friends distanced themselves. Months later, I ran into one of them at a grocery store. She apologized. "I should have spoken up sooner." Then she smiled. "You know what everyone calls Emily now." I laughed. "What?" "The girl who tried to gold dig the wrong guy." I couldn't help laughing. Because the funniest part wasn't that she lost a wealthy boyfriend. It was that she never even knew she had one. She spent an entire year trying to shame a man she thought was poor, only to discover the only thing truly bankrupt in that relationship was her character. And every evening, when I pull into my driveway, walk through the front door, and sit in my favorite recliner with a cup of coffee, I'm reminded of one simple truth. The greatest investment I ever made wasn't the house. It was refusing to give ownership of my peace to someone who thought my worth could be measured by my wallet.